Hey everybody, this is Floyd, and today I got a little project I'm working on. Toyota. It's an '82 Toyota 4-wheel drive SR5, and been having issues with it. And let me turn it around. And I had made several videos on this old truck in the past, but I've been having issues with it, and I thought it was the carburetor. And so I rebuilt the carburetor like 6 times, and that would never fix it. What was happening was, some days it would run, no problem. Some days you'd crank it, it wouldn't, and crank it and crank it and crank it, and it wouldn't crank. And then some days it would crank and run for a little bit and then shut off. And then sometimes it would, you'd going down the road, it'd start bucking. Other times, you'd crank it, it would idle just fine, you know, it would rev up, and then it idle. When it idled down, it'd shut off. So I replaced this coil, the wires, the rotor button, the rotor distributor cap, and you know, and it worked fine for a little bit, but it started acting up again. So I was leaving the location that I've got leased. I got out of the truck, slammed the door, and the truck cut off. I'm like, what in the world? And then it dawned on me that that had happened before, several times before actually. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, instead of this being a carburetor problem, maybe it's an electrical problem. So I got under here to where the fuse box is, took this off, pulled all the fuses out, put them all back in. They all look fine, no problem. Well, over here, there's a gray box that sits right here with this wire that plugs into it. Let's see if I can get my hands on it. That's this wire right here. It's got all these different wires that plugs into that gray box. Well, I removed the gray box and I've took it inside, and I'll show you what I found. This is what the box looks like. It's a little gray box, and it's got a metal cover on the back. I've already took the screws out of it. And when you lift this cover, you have your circuit board. And what I'll do is I'll take this out. And there's the plug-in that plugs into this thing. If you'll look at it, and lay it here on the table. Okay, so if you look right here, there, and there, the welds are broke. And the only thing I can tell is that where that cable goes in there, and the vibration has cracked the contacts loose. So right here is one, that one, and that one. And what I want to do is I want to heat up the solder iron, grab a little bit of solder, dab it enough to where it'll heat this up and remelt everything so it'll have a good connection. So let me get busy on that. Okay, this is my setup. Got my soldering iron, got my solder here, and got a little light there. And let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Pull this out of here. Okay. Pull this a little closer. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is solder up these joints that are cracked and see if that'll make a difference on my whole truck. And let's see. I'll take a she's hot. So let's start with this one here. I need to add a little bit actually. go. Try not to overheat this thing too much. Let's see how that looks. I'm gonna try to do this one here next. I'll tell you what, just hold up just a second. I'm gonna put some new batteries in this flashlight. Pause you just for a second. All right, let's see if that'll help me see better. All right, let's see. Should be better there. So let's do this next one here. That did pretty good. We'll go ahead and do this one. Let's get rid of this right here real quick. I think I got too much on there. Let me get rid of it. Use this. There we go. Made a little bead out of that. Let's see. Okay, that one. Let's try and do this one here next. There we go. Okay. Start with this one back here. Made a hole on this side. Let me pull some more wire out before I burn my finger. Okay, that's that one. That one. careful not to overheat this stuff. Okay. Okay. Now the one in the middle. Okay. Believe that might have it, as far as I know. So I don't see anything else. So the only thing I need to do is give it a try. Take a look, make sure I didn't overlap nothing or overlook anything. Gotta be careful not to burn my wires. Just making sure that there's no other cracks in these little welds or solders or whatever you want to call it. Kind of wonder about that one there. So that goes to that one. And I'll tell you what I probably should have done, because I can see that there's some dark spots in here, is I probably should have cleaned the board first, got that dust off of it, because I think it's got dust in it, but too late now. There's one. Might need to add a little bit right there. Let's see what it does. Let's see, did I do too much? Maybe not. I need a new tip on this thing. It acts like it wants to half work. I need to go plug it in and put it back together and plug it in the truck and see how it does. Now unplug this cable right here. So that'll be cooling off. Let's move this back out of the way a little bit. So 2 screws. Put my glasses back on. And don't know if you can see that. So anyway, let's try to put this back together. And that piece there goes in like that. You got a screw that goes here. I don't want to over tighten this, but I want it to be snug too. We'll do it like this. And it's got these two little latches on each side. Oh, you know what? I just screwed up. And I'm glad I caught that. Duh. Sometimes you get in such a rush, you're not paying attention to what you're doing. And make a mistake like I just almost made. Come out of there. Come on. There we go. First you put this on. Then you put the screws in. You gotta make sure that's all the way down. And that one's all the way down. Okay. All right. Put that one there. Put that one there. And since this is plastic, I like to back it up until I hear it sound like it falls into place, or feels like it falls into place. Because that plastic, you're not careful, you will strip it out. You can tell when it goes in. Do this one the same way. Tighten that one up. Tighten that one up. Make sure. Okay. Well, let's go outside and hook it up and see if the truck will crank and stay running. So let me go ahead and get a bolt started. I think it's that one right there. Kind of started there. And what that'll do is help hold this in place, I hope. Get it up there. Let's see what I'm doing. Let's see if that went on. Yep. So that's got that. So I'm gonna have to move the camera out of the way because that top bolt up there is behind all these wires. So it's a little harder to get to. So let me go ahead and get that other one started and I'll get back with you. Well, I got it back in there. Got it plugged in. So I'm gonna hook the battery up. And that's another thing, whenever you're messing with this, I would disconnect the battery before you even touch it, just to be on the safe side. So I'm gonna go plug, hook the battery back up, and then we'll give it a try. Okay, so it's been a little while since I've tried cranking it, so it might take a minute. Make sure it's out of gear. Accelerator. Trying. run them wires to get hot under there. Some on my dash rattling over here. All these years struggling with this thing, trying to figure out what was wrong with it. And I think it was that box the whole time. So if you have any trouble with your Toyota not wanting to idle, when you first crank it, you set the chuck and you hit a rev up and run, and then once it starts to idle down, it starts to and cuts off. Probably that box. I had replaced everything else up there that I could think of. Electrical. I hope this helps and save these little trucks. I gotta get some new tires put on it. These are dry rotted, and I bet they're not even got 3,000 miles on them. It's because wouldn't drive it because I was having so much trouble with it and not wanting to stay running. You get down the road and they go to the accelerator and you smash the clutch in, the truck would cut off with you, and you coast, and then have to throw it out of gear and try to crank it real fast. Something in my ashtray over here is rattling up through. Good luck. I hope it helps.